You want to build a multi-million-dollar real estate investment business? It starts with the small details. And when I say small details, it actually starts with your marketing. But before you dive in with creating a marketing list and pulling something simply off the prop stream, you need to know exactly what type of criteria your buyers are going after. Coming out of one of the most hyper-competitive real estate markets that we have ever seen in history, the recent market shift has caught a lot of investors off guard. Why? Because we're coming out of unicorn season where they're used to seeing these big institutional buyers paying top value for real estate deals. So how do you pivot in the middle of this market shift? I'm going to show you guys inside of this video. So our firm works with the biggest nationwide hedge fund buyers in the marketplace. And as a result, we've created a process to help more wholesalers and investors source deals for these institutional giants. Now, whenever I'm going to pull a marketing list for these firms, the first thing that I do is type in hedgefundpartnership.com. You look at my screen, the hedgefundpartnership.com link will take us to the buy box locations. Inside of the buy box locations, you can go down and view the top performing buy box areas nationwide for these hedge fund buyers. Now, we've seen a shift with the market turn where the Wall Street funds that are in the bigger metro markets, they're not paying quite as much for real estate deals as they were 2 months ago. But the markets that are hitting are what we call tertiary markets. A tertiary market is a linear market. It's a medium-sized market that doesn't appreciate quite as much, but it's also not going to experience as big of a correction when the market does circulate. So our focus now and the way that we've pivoted to make sure that we're maximizing the return on these wholesale deals is we're going after the tertiary markets. Great example of that, Augusta, Georgia, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Kansas City, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, St. Louis, Missouri, just to name a few. But inside of these tertiary markets that you can see inside of the partnership portal, you got a max purchase price of roughly $200,000, where some of these big Wall Street funds were paying $350,000, $400,000. Well, again, the market has turned, so it's a safer play, and we're seeing a higher cash-on-cash bid for the tertiary markets than any other market across the United States. So whenever I'm pulling a list, I go straight to hedgefundpartnership.com where I can get together and aggregate the data that I know that these hedge funds are moving on, right? Once you find a deal, under that same link, you can go to submit to hedge fund partners where the back-end organization will put and source these opportunities, submit it to the biggest nationwide funds in order to bring back the highest bids and highest offers for the investment partners that work inside of this strategy. So what we're doing, I'm going to go ahead and pull a list for Augusta, Georgia, right? So I know that in Augusta, we're looking at a max price of $200,000 with a minimum of 2-bed, 1-bath and up. However, I know that we're going to get a better offer for 3-bed, 1-bath and up. So what I'm doing with this data is I'm going to literally plug and play as we pop on over to PropStream. So I'm going to go after Augusta, Georgia, which, by the way, the partners inside of this network are provided with a target zip code list so that they can maximize efficiency and dial in their marketing efforts. It's good to be laser focused so you're not just scatter marketing and going too wide, but you want to make sure that you are diving in with precision. In Augusta, Georgia, I'm going to go after the property characteristics, minimum of 3-bed, 1-bath and up, 800 square feet and greater, built 1950 and newer. That's really all we got to dial in with the property criteria, aside from making it clear that we're going after residential, single-family homes. Outside of that, we will go down to the ownership tab, ownership info, If you want to go after potential tired landlord, which tired landlords and absentee owners are our top converting lists, by the way, you'll simply go to occupancy status, or excuse me, owner occupied. No, that's telling us that the property is not occupied by the owner on record, right? From there, we're going to go to minimum of 10 years of ownership and greater. We're going after individual owners, the mixed, the corporates, LLCs. You're not going to get as high of a return on your marketing list marketing to an LLC or a business, right? Outside of that, we're going to valuation and equity. Estimated equity percentage, we want to put at least 35% equity in this current market. Estimated value of the home, we'll start at $70,000 and we're going to go all the way up to $220,000. Because again, we're not going after the super expensive assets. We find our strike zone between $70,000 and $220,000 as far as the after repair value. Because we know that's also in alignment for the institutional buyers. We will include the unknown equity. And from there, we're going to go ahead and see what results we got. So we have 2,066 potential properties on the absentee owner list in Augusta, Georgia. We also know that this property criteria is going to match up with the hedge fund buyers based on the buy box, right? So from there, we're going to go ahead and pull the list. Boom. We selected all the properties. We're going to add them to a list. Make sure you always title your lists with precision so that you know which list is what, right? So we're going to go Augusta, GA, absentee, and I'm going to put Q3 2022. The reason that I label the list with the quarter and the year is so I know how fresh that list is as far as the data that we're aggregating. And from there, save it. Once the data is saved, we'll pop on over to the My Properties tab. We're going to go to the list we just created, Augusta Q4 absentee. Download it, and once we export those records, we will pop on over to Better Skip. Now, Better Skip Tracing offers data as cheap as 6 cents per record. You're not going to find that anywhere else in the industry. So Better Skip is our go-to skip tracing service because one, it gives you accurate records, quality phone numbers, and it's got a high match rate, right? On top of that, you're not paying 15 cents for a single skip trace record. When you're doing these lists in bulk, you're getting data as cheap as 6 cents a record. So in order to get started, you will go ahead and click Get Started. From there, you can create an account in the sign up link. And once the account is created, you simply drag or drop one of your files into this section. We have the Augusta Q4 absentee list. And then from there, we push it on the system, make sure that we appropriately match the columns, push it through, and within minutes, it skip traces your data and sends it directly to your inbox. Again, Better Skip is the best skip tracing provider that we have found in-house for accurate data. And that's it. Once you get your return results that come through, under your dashboard, you can download the recently completed file, upload that into your system, and you are off to the races. I encourage you, before you ever start marketing for motivated sellers in any market, begin with the end in mind. So you want to know where the cash is. Where is the largest amount of cash being deployed in whatever specific market you as a real estate investor are targeting your efforts, right? So again, if we're talking Augusta, Georgia, you have to know where the big cash buyers, where the hedge funds are making moves, and know their buy box criteria. That's why we put the hedge fund partnership link together, is so that you can easily navigate that space. Again, hedgefundpartnership.com takes you straight to the buy box. And we're simply reverse engineering where the money is so that you can pull your data appropriately to only go after houses that fit inside of the hedge fund buy box criteria. Hope this helps, guys. Get out there. In a turning market, there's always opportunities to pivot. The smartest thing that you can do as a real estate investor is to go after the high yield markets. High yield markets are the strongest play in a down market. So get after it, guys. I am rooting for you. I'll see you on the other side.